Welcome into another episode of Outside Shots with Eddie Johnson, presented to you by the good folks at OGs. Go to ogsbrands.com, find the best edibles in the game closer to you. Eddie, it has been a little bit. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Saul, as I always am when I get a chance to converse. Is that a word? Converse?
Of course.
Conversate. No, conversate. Is conversate a word?
You can converse.
Is conversate a word?
Yes, it is.
Conversate?
Yeah.
It's not a word, Saul. Conversate is not a word. I got to start the show off by correcting you.
Is that how we're going to do it today?
Yeah, I want to prove to everybody that I'm smarter than you.
Oh, okay. Conversate is a word, and it is in the dictionary, and it means to to engage in conversation.
Conversate?
Yeah. How'd that work out for you there, EJ?
Well, you didn't prove me wrong. You proved somebody else wrong. It's somebody up in the
Oh,
state.
now we're gonna throw somebody else under the bus, even though you said you like to prove me wrong.
Somebody in the grandstand talking about it's not a word. Okay, I'm not gonna call them out. Okay, because something might happen to my dinner if I do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I was talking out loud. I said that on purpose because they always told me that conversate was not a word, and you just proved that it is. So they're quiet right now. They're not saying anything.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm here and you're over there. Good luck with that. I'm sure.
We're looking it up right now. Trust me.
I was looking it up. I looked it up. So yeah. Listen, I'm also glad I'm over here. And well, actually, no, I kind of wish I was Monty Williams today because my guy got the $65 million bag for doing nothing. Really, basically, he didn't do anything. He didn't want to go to Detroit. Went to Detroit after they forced him. Forced him with all the money that they threw his way. I can't blame him, but it didn't work out. It didn't look pretty. 28-game losing streak, and just all types of crazy rosters. And Monty is a man of his own vision, and it didn't play out in Detroit. And now he's on the outside looking in, and probably going to be on the outside looking in for a while because who's going to pass up $65 million to just do what you want to do? So, yeah. What did you think about that?
I was surprised. I had heard. You remember when they first hired Trajan Langdon? The word was that they were going to give him carte blanche, and if he wanted to change coaches, they would be okay with it, which I thought sent shockwaves through the NBA in regards to an owner saying that. Now, granted, you're talking a billionaire, and so I don't, obviously he's making a ton of money a day. And maybe money, the Tom Gore doesn't matter to him anymore. He's older. He wants to win. And he was willing to give that all away. And he chased Monty Williams. It wasn't like Monty came to him. By the way, as you know, Monty was hesitant in taking the job, and they actually talked him into it. And, yeah, the worst record in the league, the worst record in a long time in the NBA. We get it. We saw what happened, the losing streak and all of that. But in saying that, if you're Trajan Langdon, why would you put yourself on the hot seat immediately? Like, you just got rid of one of the highest paid coaches in the league. And now whoever you bring in, you're going to be judged immediately. I don't know how smart a move that was. Like, he must be a real confident guy, or he has a sincere backing of his ownership. But why would he think that? When Monty just got fired and they owe him $65 million. So
you don't make that move unless you have a pretty good idea of who you're going to try and go after, right?
Well, they already know who they want.
Yeah, that to me, that makes sense. Also, I do agree with you. Like, why don't you let this thing ride out another year, see how it goes, and then maybe you make the move because but maybe it's just that bad. Maybe it was just, there was too many things to be able to not ignore behind the scenes or even on the scenes, to be honest with you, the way this team was playing and the all bench units that he would roll out, and the benching of Jaden Ivey in favor of Killian Hayes, which was obviously not the right move either, and just a lot of different things. The fluctuation of the player performance over the course of the year too. You had guys that had decent seasons the year before, just completely they were very inconsistent and inadequate in times. I could see why, if you're a franchise, you look at, if you could identify and say that that's definitely not the answer, then yay, why not? I know you're losing $65 million, but Eddie, I think that in today's day and age, we have a lot of people that make their money in a variety of different ways, and they have a lot of it. And I just feel like money is just not so much of an object with today's owners anymore as it used to be. Back in the day, owners, every little penny, and some owners still are, don't get me wrong, but there's a different section of owners that just don't give a what about money. And if it's not the right thing and they're not happy with the results, then they're just going to make moves immediately and move on. And we've seen that here in Phoenix as well, and Matt Ishbia, and making quick moves with Frank Vogel. And I mean, I'm not surprised that Detroit did the same thing.
Well, we have different types of ownership now in the NBA, and you're right. In the past, owners were very negligent to do a lot of things. They were basically looking at the bottom line, whereas owners today, they don't. And these are like billionaires. Like a story came out on the Lakers most recently where it said maybe the Lakers are having a hard time with their ownership keeping up.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Billionaire owners. And I get it. These guys are worth a ton. They're making a ton every day. And that kind of money doesn't mean anything to them, which is kind of mind-boggling to think that you just pay somebody $65 million to walk away in the second year of their contract. But that's what happened. And look, anytime a coach gets fired in this kind of situation, somebody is not on board with each other. Now, ownership came out and said, well, Trajan, he didn't make this call, we did. Well, I think they're kind of protecting him. Langdon has had a few opportunities to talk to Monty over the last weeks or so, and he was part of that decision. I just can't think that he was not. But I also know that Monty was in a strong position, Saul, to demand things and to maybe push back on things that they maybe wanted him to do, i.e. maybe change his coaching staff.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, Monty was like, no, not doing it. So because of that, they had to make a decision. And I think that's what they did. Now, I exchanged messages with Monty today. I didn't specifically talk about the firing. I just wanted to really just see about him. And obviously, it's a shock to him that it happened. But Monty, man, he's so balanced, man. He's just like, I just trust in God, man. I can't complain and blah, blah, blah. And and I told him to go fishing. And he sent me a picture of him catching a fish today. And I just cracked up. So that's just him, man. But I really like Monty. But again, you're hired in this league to get fired. He knows it. He's been down that road. And it's unfortunate, but man, that was a big shock today.
My interactions with Monty have always been positive. He's always been a positive individual. I just think that, Monty has a specific way that he likes to go about doing things. And I think sometimes when he has been met with a little bit of adversity in terms of the flow that he has idealized in his head, sometimes he has run into some bumps because the things have not been as smooth as he would like. And that adversity has caused a little bit of a rift from time to time with him and certain players. And I think overall being able to adjust to that as we kind of saw, not only here in Phoenix, but obviously in Detroit, it got a little too problematic. And so it doesn't surprise me. And, hey, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he finds his way back in the league at some point. But, I'm not surprised by this move, and I'm interested to see where the Pistons are going to go because, damn, you feel like they can't get any worse, right? I mean, I don't know. They got some draft capital. They got to make some moves. They got to increase.
Who they gonna pay all that money? Now they paid $65 million to the coach.
I know.
Then they got to go out and find another coach and give him what, 20 to 30 million. So now it's about $100 million invested in coach, the head coach, the coach that's at home fishing, and then the new coach coming in.
EJ, I'm just gonna say it. I'm here and I love my job, but if they want somebody else to come in and screw up their franchise and give me a nice couple mil, I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
Yeah,
I won't do it for free.
They're not going anywhere.
I will do it.
They got the 5th draft pick, and everybody's saying this draft is not going to be a strong one. And they got the 54th. That's it. So you don't really see their team improving a ton. So it's got to be a coach that player develops very well. And I think that was maybe part of the conversation I think that Langdon had with Monty, is player development, because they know they're not going to have a super high draft pick that can change their team. There's no Wembanyama coming out in this draft. So even though they got 3 kids from France in the top 10, which is crazy, predicted in the top 10, France is taking over.
I mean, it's 2 guys, but yeah, okay. That's what Flex said the other day too. I was like, dude, shut up.
Look, we don't know like many words in the foreign languages. Like, I took a little Swahili when I was in college. Hujambo, Bwana. Hujambo. Hello. And I got a little wee.
I took a little French in high school. I know a little bit. Like I know how to introduce myself. Like Je m'appelle Saul Bookman. Like,
look at
that.
you!
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You sounded like a Frenchman.
Or like voulez-vous te père? That means can you pass the butter?
Now, here's the thing. Now, I don't want to get too in depth into your life, but I just heard that the French language is kind of like it's kind of romantic. I mean, you use the words.
No, not like that. I don't.
What's wrong with you?
Man, I ain't got that kind of game. Like not the French stuff. Like
for them words, man.
It's been 30 years since I've been in high school taking French, man.
She don't know what it means. It's just the way it sounds.
Yeah. Listen,
she's gonna look in the dictionary. That word means. Oh, hey, Saul, hold up for a second. Oh wait, hold it for a second. You okay? Can you hold it for a second?
Listen, she's fluent in Spanish, and I have yet to receive that from her end. So until I get that, she's not getting any French from me. So there you go. All right, let's move on to Bronny's taking his second visit with the Suns, second workout with the Suns today. Rich Paul, Eric, the graphic today. Rich Paul basically squashed some of the rumors about LeBron coming to Phoenix strictly off of Bronny's interest in either LA or Phoenix. Rich Paul also says there is no package deal for LeBron and Bronny with the Suns or the Lakers. The Lakers can draft Bronny. And this is a quote. The Lakers can draft Bronny and LeBron doesn't resign. LeBron is also not going to Phoenix for a minimum deal. We can squash that now. End quote. And that's fine. It's all cool. That's your job as an agent, is to make sure that you represent your client and get the most out of what is potentially out there. And I'm not saying he's coming to Phoenix, and I'm not saying there's no scenario where the Phoenix Suns can acquire LeBron via trade. There's just no scenario out there that's going to happen. So what is the other option? It's the only vet minimum or bust. And if the Phoenix Suns do somehow draft Bronny James, EJ, I find it really, 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 really hard to believe that LeBron, who would frequent USC every opportunity he got, living right up the street to watch his son play, would turn down the opportunity to play with his own son in the short time that he has remaining in the league. I don't know. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm being a little too optimistic for the Suns, but
look, and here's what I would say to that. And obviously, we're not in LeBron's pockets. We don't know how he values the billions that he's made and going to make in the future, whatever he does. But the one thing that I would say is the one thing that he wants more than playing with his son is another championship. That's the one thing. So we do know that's what he wants. Like that, if he re-signs with the Lakers, he can probably get $100 million without a doubt. They're gonna have to give him a multi-year deal at his age, and who knows, he can get $150 million from him. But the question is, would he donate $50 million? Now, we just saw owner now give Monty Williams $65 million. Okay, he's a billionaire and LeBron's a billionaire. So if we're talking about billionaires giving up money, then we got to put LeBron in that same bubble.
True.
With that mindset, right? So we can't differentiate the billionaires. They all make a ton of money. Would he donate 1 year to come play with his son and to have a chance to win a championship and have himself, KD, Devin, and Bradley Beal on the same freaking team?
I don't know.
Like I said, I know Rich Paul is his agent, as you said, but he doesn't speak. That dude runs it to his own tune, and we know that. So if he decided that he wanted to go ahead and do it with his son at point guard, supposedly, right, but on the floor, I would never. Like I said, we just talked about billionaires giving back money. So why would we not discuss a billionaire player putting money on hold? He's not giving it back. He's just putting it on hold because I think he's going to play at least 3 more years.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense, but who knows what's really in LeBron's heart. I think at the end of the day, if you're the Phoenix Suns, you got to make sure that you have assurances that that's going to happen if you're going to take Bronny in the first place, because you can't waste a draft pick right now.
And I don't know if it'll waste a draft pick.
In the first round, it would, because he's not ready to contribute to a championship level team right now.
It all depends. I don't think any rookie is. So I don't think any rookie.
But there's rookies that are better suited in the temporary to be able to help you. We saw that with Derek Lively.
Look, I mean, that's a 7-footer that can run and jump. That's different.
But that's a 7-footer that was available last year in the later part of the first round. Again, it's there's an opportunity out there.
Right? And what they're saying is that this draft is nowhere near that. And so that's the question mark, right? But also, you can have a kid that played well in college that the Suns could draft, and he gets to the league, and it doesn't transfer.
True.
And then you can have a kid that didn't play a lot in college, and he can come to the league and he excels. So that's why they have workouts. And so trust me, if the Suns working out everybody, and now Bronny in the NBA pre-draft camp was the second best shooter in the camp. That's documented. Was in the top 5 in athleticism. Speed and quickness, jumping, all of that. So from a physicality standpoint, he is at the top notch of the guys that were at the pre-draft camp. Right? So I'm not trying to sell Bronny. I'm just laying it out there for you because you're talking to somebody that went in the second round or somebody that they thought was undersized at 6'8", but I was big, and they thought that I could play power forward because they just had success in Kansas City with a guy named Reggie King, who was 6'6", strong, and he got away with playing power forward. So they thought that I could fit the bill there. They saw that I was a tremendous rebounder in college, so they thought that, right? And so, but still, it was a negative for me, so I went in the second round. Behind guys like Danny Vrains, Tom Chambers' ex-college teammate, a host of guys. that went Al Wood, that went top 4, 5, 6 in the draft. All right? And for it's all said and done, I outperformed all of them, probably except maybe for 4 or 5. Okay? Isaiah Thomas, Buck Williams, Tom Chambers. I'll put me and Ro Blackman on the same line. Mark Aguirre.
I think you outperformed Buck Williams.
Mark Aguirre. Oh, no, not Buck Williams. Mark Aguirre, Buck Williams, Isaiah Thomas, Tom Chambers. Those guys, no, I did not. But still, that's top 8. I should have gone top 8.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Like when you have a draft like this, you just don't know. So I would just be, I know the criticism on him because, you know, what he did at USC, but the dude just came back from a heart issue.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah. So I saw him in high school. I happen to like him. And I think what he did in Chicago, I think it garnered a lot of interest, and a lot of teams are kind of ticked off that he's not working out for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the kid's not going to be good at some point. I just, again, if you're the Phoenix Suns, can you afford to take a gamble on somebody like that, not knowing what the prognosis is moving forward with other potential pieces that can improve you dramatically immediately? So that's where my head would be at. You can get your head in a positive space too by going to ogsbrands.com, getting yourself one of the best edibles in the game. ogsbrands.com will show you where you can get the closest dispensary to get these beautiful, delicious edibles, the sativas, the indicas, the RSOs. They got the big giant vegan RSO, which is a 100 milligram gummy. It's about the size of a dollar coin. So a silver dollar. There you go. What's that?
It's a big gummy.
It is a big gummy, but that's why they split it. They slice it into little slices. So you're supposed to.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna come over to your house one day. I'm telling you. No, I'm not. No, you got to come over to my house.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, no, you don't want to be at my house.
My house, and we just sit down and just, you know,
I got you.
Watch the Olympics, because the Olympics will be on. And we just sit there. And, you know, I call the paramedics to have them ready.
You don't need no damn paramedics, man. Oh my goodness! I promise you don't need any of that.
I tell my doctor friend to come down and have a gummy with me.
It don't help if he's also high.
I invite because, you know, all my doctors are my good friends. So I invite them over to the house, and so they can have the gummy. I'm gonna have the gummy. So if something happens, boom, the doctors are right there.
Oh my goodness, man! Hey, listen. That's chess, not checkers, by the way. Being best friends with your doctors, so you know they're only a call away. That's fantastic. Anyway, go.
I'm gonna tell you something, Saul, and I want everybody to hear this that's watching this show. And the reason why you're here is because you tune in to watch me and Saul every week. So I want to give you something. I want to tell you, this is serious business. Befriend your doctor. Befriend him. Hey, he likes to play golf. Say, hey, doc, let's go play golf. All of my cardiologist, my doctor, all of them. I'm telling you, they're my good friends. When I tell you my good friends, I go on golf trips with them. I play golf with them once a week. Okay? Because if something happened to EJ, I want them to freaking be in pain.
EJ, while I can appreciate that, I do. I think that's smart. However, I don't know. You know, listen, there's some intimate details you got to get into about your body when you have to explain. And then there's some things that the doctor's got to do to you. But man, I'm not trying to be on like hole 17. Like, hey man, you need to get that mole in your behind checked out. Like, yo, hey man,
I don't care. I don't care, man. I don't care. Look, my doctors are crazy. They have fun with me. I remember going in to get my exam, you know, the exam, the PSA exam.
Yeah.
Where you got to bend over the table.
Yeah, no.
The digital exam.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. My doctor, my good friend, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? Right. And he said, just put your pants over there on the hook next to mine. I said, what, man? That's the kind of doctors I got.
Oh my goodness,
that's crazy, man. Like, look, you know what? I don't care. Look, it ain't nothing wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't care. We have fun, man, and yeah.
Well, you could have fun too with OGs. It's a fantastic edible. Remember, you must enjoy responsibly, and you must be over the age of 21 to enjoy them in the first place. All right, EJ, I got this list that I thought was absolutely atrocious before we get to vet minimums that I wanted to get your perspective on. It's a top 30 list by NBA Central or Hoops Hype. The first Phoenix Sun isn't listed until number 12, behind the likes of let's see, it's Kevin Durant, but you have Jokic, Luka, SGA, Giannis, Anthony Edwards at number 5, Jalen Brunson at number 6, Tatum, Brown, who just won the NBA championship at 7 and 8, Anthony Davis, LeBron, Domantas Sabonis at 11, and then it's finally Kevin Durant. Oh, and by the way, our own Devin Booker all the way down to 26. Yeah, you heard that right. 26. Behind the likes of Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Rudy Gobert, Pascal Siakam. The list goes on and on.
And none of them guys you mentioned, right, that made a finals, correct?
No, except for Tatum and Brown, obviously.
As a 1A. Devin made a finals as a 1A.
Yeah.
That right there. All NBA. Now, you can argue all NBA who should have been on there and all of that. I get it. To me, that's just a vote. And, any given year, Devin is going to be on there. He'll be higher than what he was this year. So, you know what have you done for me lately kind of league? People want to change up on you. And so I used to write for Hoops Hype for like 8 years. Okay.
Did you really?
I was one of their writers.
Okay.
Oh yeah. If you go just type in Eddie Johnson Hoops Hype, I have dozens of articles.
Okay.
Dozens. So you didn't even know that about me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was one of the ones that would do the top 50. I was behind that.
Okay.
For the NBA every year on Hoops Hype.
Well, maybe you should go back.
No.
Because this list is abhorrent.
Let them have it. But yeah, I worked for them for a long time. And so yeah, you got sometimes you got couch potatoes and water boys writing on that. I don't know who wrote it. But again, they're prisoner of the moment. Like they got Jalen Brunson that high. Look, I like Jalen Brunson, but stop, man. Like, he's a scorer, without a doubt. Okay? He's a scorer. And he had a tremendous run with the Knicks. I get it. But to elevate a guy that high, that quickly, over a guy like Devin that's been to the finals on his team, come on. It's kind of laughable.
Yeah, it's laughable. KD at 12. Listen, they both averaged 27 a game. They both made All-NBA. One was second team, one was third team. By all NBA standards, they're one of the top 15 players in the world.
Yeah. So
but somehow Devin Booker gets slided all the way down to 26 behind some guys that really have no business being above Devin Booker. And I saw that and I wanted to get your take, and it was just atrocious. But let's get to the real thing at hand. The Suns are limited cap-wise into the kind of moves that they can make. Let's talk about some vet minimum guys that we could target in order to improve this roster. Here's a list of some of them that are mostly wing guys. So Taurean Prince, Batum, Crowder, PJ Tucker, Justin Holiday, KJ Martin, Jordan Nwora, Josh Richardson, Gordon Hayward, then Hayward, and then you got Cam Reddish, Gary Harris, Alec Burks, Robert Covington, Lamar Stevens, Haywood Highsmith, Najee Marshall, Trenton Watford, Torrey Craig, Kelly Oubre Jr., Taylor Horton Tucker, and so on. You got other guys too at the center and point guard positions around the league that will be available at the vet minimum spot too. But it's kind of slim pickings. We saw that a little bit last year in terms of the types of guys that they targeted, and it didn't work out. When you look across the landscape, is there a guy or two that you have identified that you think, man, he would be a great fit with the Suns?
Yeah, put that list back up there, please.
Go ahead, Derek.
Kelly Oubre, immediately.
Yeah, but he's not going to be available.
I know he's not, but he's on the list. So
he is on the list.
And you're right. He's going to command a much bigger contract. I think he proved that he could play two ways. His defense on Brunson, I thought, in that series was really good. Worked hard, fought over screens. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, unless he decides that to roll the dice another year, on a team where he can have some total success, then he might do it. Who knows? Kelly is just that kind of dude, right? Alec Burks, I think, is a very good player to pick up because off the bench, he's proven that he can flat out score the ball. Also, he can run an offense, like not in a limited way, not, as a point guard, but in a limited way, he can run an offense. And he's a shot maker. Like, he can go get his shot on anybody. KJ Martin's an athletic guy. You bring off the bench and, show you some athleticism. So there's some guys on that list that actually could help the Suns in regards to being role guys. I would still just love the Suns to keep Bobo, keep Eric Gordon. I know Eric was up and down at times last year. I thought he dealt with some injuries, but you just can't find guys that can shoot the ball from three and spread the court, man.
If you were going to prioritize the three, let's just say point guard, wing, and center, or even power forward center, which one do you think the Suns should prioritize the most between those three?
They should prioritize a kid that can push that damn ball up the court and get it to them early in the shot clock, and then go stand his ass over in the corner and be ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, that right there is priority to me, number one. It truly is. I think Bobo can get better. So, for me, I would like him to be in the rotation early on to really prove himself. But, man, this got to get some speed and quickness, man.
Yeah.
And not speed and quickness from our big three, but speed and quickness around them to make their job easier.
Yeah.
Like, I keep telling people, they're like, oh, the point guard, they really don't need it. Stop. Look, we know Devin can dribble it up. KD, dribble it up. Bradley, dribble it up. But we don't want them to dribble it up. We want them to dribble it in, okay? Dribble it in, not up.
Yeah.
We don't want them dribbling the ball up, calling out a play. Hey, man, stop. Somebody else dribble the damn ball up, give it to them, and they can do that. That's what we want. We don't want them going in the paint and trying to be John Stockton. Stop. We need a guy that can push that damn ball up, get it to them so they can do damage quickly without having to exert a ton of energy. That's what we need to focus.
I just don't know if that guy's going to exist at a vet minimum. There's not a lot of options out there.
Matt Maloney in Houston. Matt Maloney wasn't a draft pick. Okay, he was a starting guard with Clyde Drexler, Charles Akeem, Mario Ellis. We won 55 games. Went to the conference finals. We lost to Utah in the conference finals in 6 games. Okay, but Matt Maloney was the one smart enough to get me the damn ball game 4 of that series so I can drill it, okay? Smart kid, all right? So it is kids out there that if you give them a responsibility to just don't mess it up, get the ball up, get it to these guys, understand stuff, it's kids out there that can do that. That's all I'm saying.
No, I believe it. I think it would be better suited if it was a kid, somebody that's, coming out of the draft, in my opinion. I know, listen, if you're talking something as basic as that, you need somebody that can push the ball, hit the wide open three when you have it, because you will have it, and be able to take advantage of defenses when they give you the opportunity to do so. We have not had that guy since Chris Paul, obviously, which is just one season. But this team proved that
didn't have the speed.
No, yeah, they walked it up,
right.
And Devin walked it up this year too.
I would still love if we could get him back. I'd love that. If he was playing behind another guy, I'd love it. Okay. But yeah, we need that speed and quickness with those three guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, and I think that you can find that player in the draft. There are a couple prospects out there draft wise that will be available. And, hey, I just don't know enough about Bronny and his skill set to be able to run the point enough. Now, does he have the speed to push? Yes, 1,000,000%. That's not
and
even.
He has the pedigree.
Yeah, and I know he has the pedigree.
The unselfish pedigree, man, which I think is very important. Like the understanding, like of how to play the game, and you can see it in him just in the limited time that he's played, that I've seen him play, high school stuff like that. So, like I said, look, whoever the kid is, whether it's a free agent, somebody, that has that ability to do that. That's what I think this team needs first and foremost. And then I think build from there. Because you can find athletic type kids in the later part of a draft or free agency because it's only 2 rounds. I think you can find it. I do. And you can pick up somebody, for a minimum. I think they have a chance to be able to do that.
Yeah, I agree. It's all over the place. We don't know. Our options are limited. Sometimes that makes you feel like the options are going to be bleak, but that doesn't mean that you can't hit in the draft or you can't make a move to get another asset in the draft to try and shore up as many holes as possible. I do think they need to take advantage of the draft a lot more than they have the last 3 or 4 years because you're starting to see this youth movement kind of pass us by. We used to have a squad that was, we had Cam, Mikael, and DA and Book, and it was a youthful team. And then it's quickly morphed into an older team. And you need to maintain some type of development in youth. And I think the G League is going to help us quite a bit in that regard as well, to be able to keep eyes on guys and see how they're developing and what their work ethic is like and how they develop. So I'm excited about that. But next week is the draft, and we're going to find out.
Season ends and the draft is next week.
It's wild.
Free agency starting right now, basically, which I like. You're signing your own players. I like that. So,
it's wild.
Yeah.
Next week, we will have the draft, PHNX Suns, just as a programming note. Next week, EJ and I will not have a show next week at all. We will be taking the week off. I will be taking the week off. EJ is just going to chill out. And we'll be back.
I'm taking a week off a week after that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
but I'm not telling you where I'm going, just like you're not telling us where you're going.
No, man. I'm gonna be. All you need to know is I'll be out in the middle of the ocean. That's all you need to know.
That's where you're gonna be in the middle of the ocean. I'm not going in the ocean, but I'll be looking at the ocean.
Because I can't trust myself to not look at my phone and check in on work.
Well, can we go back to something you just said? You're gonna be in the middle of the ocean.
Well, yeah.
We already know what you're doing. Now you just told on yourself.
Yeah, but you don't know where I'm going.
Look, Eddie know where all the cruise ships go.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. You got it like that. My bad.
It's not your first cruise, though.
No. Second one. So it'll be fun. Go ahead.
You can just be drunk on a cruise ship. Just don't walk outside.
No, I'm gonna have a good time. I mean, I got the
outside while you drunk.
I got the drink.
Don't walk outside while you drunk on the cruise ship. That's all I'm telling you.
I'm not going to. I promise you that. Last topic real quick before we get out of here. First of all, let me just say, hey, make sure you guys are all part of the inner circle. We appreciate all you guys in the chat. Hello, Ricardo, Walla Captain, Jan Paul, all of you guys. Appreciate you guys contributing to the show. We do appreciate it. You're part of our inner circle. You could be part of the Circle K inner circle by downloading the Inner Circle app and getting yourself some freebies, some hookups. You get up to 5 free drinks. You can get up to 25 cents for your first 5 fill-ups off of each gallon of gas that you pump. Then after that, you save 3 cents, and then it'll get bumped up to 5 cents. So become part of the Inner Circle by going to and download the Inner Circle app at Circle K. Make sure that you become hooked up and get yourself a nice little Froster for just 69 cents. Pretty nice. All right. We had this little debate well, this debate has been going on, which is the better franchise, and we're going to wrap this up. And I know a lot of people are just going to want to throw up right now, and that's fine. That's cool. But let's talk about the best franchise between LA and Boston. Obviously, with Boston winning the World Championship this week, they are now 18 championships in the fold, and LA is at 17. And here's the tale of the tape for the two, just so you all know. The Celtics have 9 less finals appearances, but they have 1 more ring, so they're a little more efficient in the championship category. Head-to-head in the finals, the Celtics have gotten the best of the Lakers, and they're 9-3. However, the Lakers have taken 3 out of the last 4 from them. And then win percentage overall, all time, 59.4% to 59.1% in favor of the Celtics. And then MVPs, the Celtics have had more MVPs than the Lakers, 10-8. And so in my estimation, the Celtics are the more legendary franchise. I know a lot of people like to talk about the Lakers, and really, if you're talking about the Lakers' run of success, you just got to look back at the last 3 decades and their consistency. I get that, but all time, I would still take the Celtics over the Lakers myself.
Yeah.
I hate LA.
Well, people want to discount Minneapolis because the Lakers didn't recognize them with banners in their arena for a period of time. Doesn't matter if they recognize them or not. It's still the Lakers. I mean, it's the Lakers.
But does George Mikan really count in Minneapolis? Come on.
Well, what do you mean? He played against Bill Russell.
Yeah, but he played in Minnesota. That's different.
Let's discount Boston's titles then when he was playing in Minneapolis. Then
he was still in Boston, though.
That's okay. No, I think what I'm saying is from an organization standpoint, you can't discount it. So for me, both teams over the period of last couple of decades, I think they both went through a stretch where they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Boston about 6 straight years. I think the Lakers about 6 straight years. But I think overall, because the Lakers went to more finals, they've been the more consistent. That's just the way I look at it. Like, forget about how many titles the organization won because they got more titles. That's fine. But the point is, it's the consistency too. I mean, so the Lakers over a longer consistency part, I think, has been, the more dominant franchise in regards to giving themselves a chance. Like, I just hate when people say, well, MJ was 6-0, but they discount the 0-for-7. I'm like, how can you discount the 0-for-7? Didn't he start every season hoping that maybe he can make the finals? Like, it's like when they got on LeBron, they say, well, he's 4-6. Okay. But in order to win a title, you got to get to the finals. So why are you making it a negative that he's 4-6 in the final? He was getting to the final. You can't win a championship unless you get to the final. Okay? The final is the last step. So you might as well lose in the first round. Like, if you don't think you're gonna win the title, then lose in the first round.
No, I'm not gonna say that, but I think there's levels to this. I'll say there's levels to this. Okay. All right. EJ, let's talk about the levels. LeBron is 4-6 in the finals. Okay, cool. But those times that he was going to the finals in the Eastern Conference, if you look at that stretch, it was some of the worst winning percentage in Eastern Conference history. So he took advantage of a really, really bad league. And then when he had to face good competition, they lost.
Okay. And when he left, what happened? When he left the East and he went to the West, didn't he win a title?
In the bubble.
Oh, it's a title. They all were in the bubble.
Sure.
So if you put Mike Tyson.
I'm not taking the one in the bubble away from him.
Whoa. If you put Mike Tyson, take him out of the ring, and put him in a hotel room with you think you got a chance? He's still going to whoop your ass.
But LeBron wasn't whooping anybody's ass in the finals.
But what I'm saying is you're going to talk about it was the bubble. Like, they took every team. They stayed in the same hotel. They ate the same food. They had to do the same thing. And they were right there on a basketball court. Right there. Nobody had an advantage on fans. No one did. And they won. So the bubble, to me, the bubble title is the most difficult title ever because they were locked up for almost 150 days away from their families, and they had to focus to win. They had to focus to win. That to me, that's like being in jail. You're either going to survive in jail or you're not. Like, you're not. You're either going to survive or you're not. Okay?
Listen, I don't want to lose any sponsors. I don't want to lose any sponsors or potential sponsors. I love you, Disney World. You are not like jail. I'm sorry that he said that. Also, LeBron did take advantage of like 3.5 months off before getting to the bubble to be able to refresh his body and have peak performance. That helps.
Didn't everything?
Yeah, but he needs it because he's older.
Hold it. He's the best conditioned freaking athlete in the damn world.
I'm just saying, man.
You're using the wrong person. I know, but you're using the wrong person. He's the best conditioned athlete you have ever seen in your life. So you can't use him as that example.
I know. I listen, folks. I get it.
Fight back on that.
Listen,
you kind of walked into a wall.
Okay, I got you. I got you. But you're also getting burned. You're also getting burned in the chat, by the way. People are saying vacation championship, which is a pretty good one. I think that's pretty.
You know what? And
they're like they said Disney ain't jail. The bubble was not like jail.
Those same people. No. I didn't say it was like jail. But
poor guys had to get 5-star service. I can't believe they had to eat that secondhand lobster.
But hold on. But if you talk to some of those guys that were in there, they struggled mentally because they were away from their families and they could not. They were restricted from going places. The only place they can go is on the golf course. So it was like jail.
It was like everybody else in the country, EJ, for crying out loud.
I understand that, but they were at home with their family.
These guys come to the bubble, though.
Look, all I'm saying to you is this. It was difficult, man. I mean, if you listen, look at some of the quotes from these guys that were in there. So it was difficult. That's all. It was a new environment. And now you got to concentrate on your job. That's tough. Yeah. But everybody had to go through it. It wasn't like one team was in the bubble and the other team was at home. So equality to the max. Trust me. Those games they used to play in Boston Garden when the Lakers went in there, was that equal? When they had the damn heat turned up to 100 degrees? Huh? You saw that documentary.
Yeah.
Or when you're dribbling the ball on the Boston Garden floor and it's dead spots and they guide you to the dead spot, is that equal? No. So I don't want to hear it. Like, it was perfection where they were. And everybody had an opportunity, and they came up short. So I don't want to hear that. It's about it was easier. But I get you with the Eastern Conference. I'm not pushing back on you. But he dominated the East. When he left, what happened? The East started winning. They started winning. They started beating the West. So I don't want to hear it. LeBron dominated the East because he was in his prime and he was prime dominating. Give him his respect. That's all.
Well, I get you. But like, again, just like the eras, there's a period of time where things shift. Things shifted towards the end of his time in the East and they got dramatically better. And that's cool. That's fine. They had to because the East was so damn bad. It wasn't competitive.
Because he left. Because he was dominating.
Okay. Well, hey, it's just like it's the same, you could say the same thing about Michael Jordan. When he left, guess what? The Rockets finally win a championship.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. That Bulls team was unbelievable. It just wasn't Michael Jordan. Stop. It wasn't Michael Jordan. Okay? Scottie Pippen. Okay? It was Dennis Rodman. I mean, you're talking about 3 of the all-time best players in the history of the game, too. Okay? All right? Stop.
Listen. Okay, there's a big difference. I like it when people bring this shit up. There's a big difference between Michael and Scottie growing together because Scottie got drafted in a draft night trade from Seattle to Chicago, and they came up together and they They were with each other, as opposed to getting this free agent, getting that free agent, getting this free agent, getting that free agent. And you're just relying on their development over the course of their career, but you had no impact on that development. And then they show up and they're already an A+ player, and then they're contributing to the cause. There's a big difference there.
Yeah,
like LeBron could have done that. And he did that a little bit with Kyrie, and that only lasted one time, and then that was it.
You're right. Like
good difference there.
You're right. Like Dennis Rodman coming over.
That's the one. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one for sure.
That's the one. That's the one you needed.
You're discounting the first three that he proved he could do without.
I have no issue with the first three. I'm talking about the second three. The dude led the NBA in rebounding 3 straight years.
He sure did. And guess what Michael Jordan did? And you saw the documentary. What did Dennis Rodman have to do? He did some wild shit all over the place. He took off. He went to go wrestle. He was in the middle of Vegas. He's having a good
old time. And got 15 rebounds.
And Michael, hey, listen, tell me this. If Monty's the coach of that team, do they win a championship? Hell no, because Dennis Rodman probably never plays again for the Bulls.
Well, that wasn't Michael. That was Phil.
But Michael was also patient enough to understand it.
Yeah, he was, but that was Phil. That was more so Phil than anything.
I get you.
But yeah, no, I agree.
So
I agree.
Anyway,
I agree.
I just want to
say we got off the track, but as we normally do with the Jordan LeBron stuff. But I would say, look, both franchises are unreal, but the Lakers have had better consistency over the full run. That's all. I mean, so when you want to compare the two, I would say the Lakers would have a slight lead on that. That's all.
Okay. I get you. Both great franchises, even though I hate LA. It is what it is.
I don't care for them either, but I'll give them their respect. I don't care for Boston. You think I wanted Boston to win the freaking title? But you know what? No. I don't have a problem with it because you know why? Because I love everybody, all the players on that team.
Yeah.
How could you dislike any of them players on that team?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, come on. Jaylen Brown probably one of the smartest freaking athletes in the world. People don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude he was offered internships to go to NASA. Okay? So the dude graduated in like 2 freaking years from Cal Berkeley. Like people don't know that about him, you know. So no, I love the fact that they won because they're humble and I think they respect the game, man. And I love it.
I agree. Well, hey folks, we appreciate you joining us on another episode of Outside Shots. Hey.0 says, I was happy for Al Horford 1,000,000%. I think Al Horford is one of the class acts in the game. Fantastic individual. And Drew Holiday, of course, listen, man, I think Drew Holiday is one of those guys out there that I think we can all agree on. Like we really admire him as a person because of the things that he's had to go through in his life and the things that he's done to support his wife and the stuff that she's had to go through with the cancer and stuff like that. Fantastic. Derek White, a guy coming from basically nowhere, playing in Division III school, ends up getting to Colorado, has a good year, gets drafted. The whole story with Derek White is fantastic.
Peyton Pritchard, who's not afraid to shoot the ball with the clock running down
from half court.
I'm gonna tell you something, and we can end with this. Dante Exum. Which I like Dante Exum and how he's turned his game around. Okay. Now that's another kid that I think he's a free agent. Okay. All right. Okay. But my point is what he did in that game 3, I think, or game 4, where he didn't even shoot the ball. I think it was at the end of the quarter in game 5.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't shoot it. He had 2 seconds. He turned and dribbled it out. Throw the ball, man. How you know if it's not going or not? Right? We saw the kid for Cleveland throw one in from way back there early in the season. I think beat Boston. Who was it? Kid they picked up from Minnesota. Not from Minnesota, from Miami. The 3-point shooter. Throws it in from half court. Pritchard, 2 times in the series, he checks in and he takes the last shot and he throws it in. And that half court shot he threw in the other night, that, to me, solidified that Dallas had no chance to win. And I just hate guys do that. They do it all the time. They dribble the clock out and don't shoot the ball because they're worried about their field goal percentage. They need to get away from that. It's disgusting.
And on that note, we appreciate you all joining us for another episode of Outside Shots. Maybe I'll drive over to EJ's house, give him an OG so he can chill out a little bit.
Chill out, baby.
Twitter @_book show at PHNX_Suns. It's draft week next week, so a bunch of content coming out. Flex from Jersey's been killing it on that side of things, so check that out as well. Until next time, we love y'all. Peace.
Hey.